Hey guys, it's Sunday and I've got a lot to get to, so let's get started. So let's start off by talking about some stuff from last week that I messed up on. JD Few, I kind of forgot to contact you guys about it. Thank you, Craig, for bringing it up, but last week was kind of hectic, so I kind of forgot to, and we all know that we're now discussing it. So JD, if you're watching this, we'll have an answer in a couple of days. Um, I mean, it's really up to them because I'm just one opinion. So we'll all come together and we'll talk about it and we'll let you know. Secondly, the Hogwarts House. I found this giant quiz that's 122 questions, and I was like, if anything's going to figure it out, it's going to be this one. And it rates you on a scale of 0 to 100 of how much you are compatible for that house. And for like Slytherin, I was 43. I was like 50 something and 60 something for Gryffindor and Ravenclaw, respectively. And for Hufflepuff, I scored an 89. So, sorry to disappoint you, Lucy, but I am a Hufflepuff. Hope you guys don't mind. Alrighty. Um, Now to answer to what you guys have said. Jins, I really liked your video last week. Your depth of imagination is amazing. And I especially liked how you said that when you were a kid, you didn't really want to grow up, so you didn't when you were younger, you almost didn't see the point of having one. It seemed like you can't remember because you just didn't want to grow up, so you thought, maybe if I don't think about growing up, I won't. I just think that's the coolest thing ever. Danielle, I was thrilled to hear that you had been on a road trip up the East Coast. Kind of makes me wish we had done this sooner, so that I could have met you when you did that trip. Um, but I really want to do a road trip at some point, whether it's solo or with friends. It's something I've always wanted to do. Um, so at some point, I'm gonna start saving money so that I can go on a road trip. But I'm also wondering, like, what? I mean, aside from gas money and money for hotels, is there something that like people don't necessarily think of for the road trip that they're going to really need? Rima, my apologies for missing the question last week. I didn't mention this in any of my previous videos, but I play the bass, and I actually can't read music as well, even though when I was really young I could, in fourth or fifth grade. But I lost the ability to read it, much like you guys did. So yeah, I mean, I guess reading music has avoided you, me, and Craig. Maybe we can all like lean on Danielle to teach us. I'm just kidding. Don't worry. Oh, and Rima, when you were talking about cassettes, I like freaked out because I used to have like a whole stack of cassettes when I was a kid. The first one I ever bought was Hanson, if that tells you anything. And my dad used to make these massive amounts of mixtapes, and it was just awesome because he had like everything for every kind of mood, and that's something I kind of try to do now, but it's just not the same. Lucy, your daughter is ridiculously adorable. I'm with Craig on his comment on your video. I was just laughing hysterically in that first minute because she's just you got the coolest little kid there. Alrighty, Craig. Uh, Greg, the reason that I immediately thought of Calvin and Hobbes is because there's been no escaping Calvin and Hobbes in my lifetime. Um, it was immediately the first thing I thought of, especially when you said that your parents would have to make a space for him at the dinner table, because I mean that's some of the best moments on there. They go on their own little adventures. Fun fact: I was almost named Calvin. I was almost Calvin Thomas Mercier. That was the name that my dad was a number one striving for. He has a tattoo of Calvin with a cape flying on his shoulder, and it is the coolest thing ever. I don't know if we're going to be actually doing book recommendation this week, so I'm going to check this before I post it. But it's time for book recommendations. Um, First off, if you haven't read some Calvin and Hobbes. Please. I beg you. I got a few ones that you should read. I think it's 5 in all. Yeah, it's 5. Okay. First up, In Cold Blood. If you have not read this in school, uh, you need to read it now because it's awesome. It says the best documentary account of an American crime ever written. The book chills the blood and exercises the intelligence. It's harrowing. That's from the New York Book of Review of Books. There it is. Check this out. For something slightly less depressing, Lamb by Christopher Moore. The Gospel According to Biff, Christ's childhood pal. That's basically what it is. Biff, for reasons that you quickly find out in the book, was left out of the Bible, um, but he needs to be put into the Bible now. So basically, the whole book is the recounting of Biff's side of the story as he's friends with Jesus. Yeah, although Jesus back then, his name technically translated to Joshua. So yeah. Hello? Yeah. How much? Sorry about that. Yeah, actually, you know what? Sorry, guys. I just got a really important phone call, so I'm gonna have to go. Real quickly, I'm just gonna say though, Reluctant Fundamentalist. You should look it up. It's a fiction that's about this guy's life. It's very interesting. It's very intriguing the way that he tells it. Um, his prose is amazing. So yeah, Unforgiving Minute tells a story about a man who went through um, all of the education. It has one of my favorite lines from any poem I've ever read in it. Let me find it. From Rudyard Kipling's If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, which is more you'll be a man, my son. And the last one is the Magic or Madness trilogy. The only one I have is Magic's Child. The reason for that I'm not going to go into because, well, let's just say it's not clean anymore. Uh, huh. Okay, that's just cool. I just realized this. This is Magic Child, which came out in 2007, I think? Let me look. Yeah, 2007. Uh, Take a look at who gave a blurb about it. And he said, Magic's Child is a thrilling, heart-rending, and thoroughly satisfying conclusion to the best fantasy trilogy I've read in years. Boom. Check it out. But I gotta go. So, Jins, I will see you tomorrow.